What's up YouTube? Welcome to CarAudioFabrication. If you guys are familiar with my videos or you've been watching for a while, you've seen that lately I've been 3D printing some new stuff for car audio. I've worked on making an A-pillar pod, and if you follow me over on Instagram at CarAudioFab, you will have seen that I've also made some special adapters for tweeters. In this video we're doing something even a little bit more special. We're actually going to be printing this miniature subwoofer enclosure. And the best thing about this is it actually works for this little 3-inch subwoofer. In this video I'm going to show you the process I went through in order to print this thing and put it together. Also, if 3D printing is something that you've been thinking about getting involved with, I want you to make sure that you stay tuned into the end of the video because I have a surprise for you. So without further ado, let's get started printing this mini subwoofer enclosure. To begin the process of making this 3D printed miniature sub box, I loaded my design into the Matter Control software. Matter Control is the software that works with my Robo3D 3D printer, and it basically allows the model to be cut down into a bunch of slices so that it can print layer by layer. You can see here that this is a slot-ported enclosure. I've designed this miniature box so that it's 0.05 cubic feet of internal air volume and it's tuned to 52 Hz. The little miniature subwoofer is actually flush mounted, and I've designed the box so that it doesn't have a top. That way we can cut a top out of plexiglass and you guys can see the inside geometry. You can see here that I'm actually stepping through each of the layers that the printer will print. I do this just to verify that the program sliced everything properly, and since it did, all I have to do now is hit print. This print actually took about 18.5 hours, so I'm just going to show you some of the highlights, but the point I want to make here is that you can hit print and walk away, and the 3D printer does all the work for you. Here you see the bottom of the inside of the box being made, whereas here you see a little bit more of the side walls starting to take shape. The miniature sub box is actually 9 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches, so this gives you an idea about how large of an object the Robo3D 3D printer can print. When the printer was done printing, I immediately inserted the little subwoofer and it fit perfectly. Something that's cool about 3D printing is I can make these surfaces that would otherwise be really difficult to create by hand. This port, for instance, is fairly elaborate with its perfectly rounded corners. In order to mount the subwoofer, I started with marking the mounting holes with a Sharpie and then drilled pilot holes. Next, I drilled a hole into the back side of the enclosure to allow for the speaker wire to enter. After preparing 2 crimp connections on the speaker wire, I threaded the speaker wire through the hole. Next, I used a hand screwdriver in order to apply the screws. I'm actually surprised that the plastic does a fairly good job of holding on to these screws. After connecting the speaker wire to the subwoofer, I applied CA glue to the top surface of the enclosure. I had pre-cut a piece of 1/4-inch plexiglass in order to fit on the top of the enclosure. This allows me to seal the inside of the box while still being able to see the cool port geometry as well as the subwoofer working inside. I would say that this thing turned out pretty sweet. Let's get this thing pumping some jams. After setting up my RTA test station, I hooked this thing up to a home audio amplifier. I played some pink noise through the subwoofer, and as I expected, we experienced a peak just above 50 Hz. I have to say, for such a small subwoofer and a little enclosure, it actually has decent output. Take a listen. I really think that this project is an excellent example of exactly what is possible with 3D printing. So what did you guys think about making this 3D printed subwoofer enclosure? I would love to know some of your guys' ideas for other things that could be done with 3D printing for car audio. So let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a quick slam of that like button. Now you guys know that I've been going crazy building all sorts of things using the 3D printer, like this 3D printed speaker pod. And if 3D printing is something that you've been thinking about getting involved with, I actually have a good surprise for you guys. Robo3D is the company that makes the Robo3D R1, which is the 3D printer that I have, and I was able to work with those guys in order to get you guys a special discount code that you can use in order to purchase one. I really like the Robo3D R1, so if you guys want a little bit more details about that machine, you can check out one of my previous videos, but for the details on the deal, be sure to check out the video description. As always, a special thanks goes out to Emmanuel, Rory, Eddie, Richard, Mark, Truman, and Jerry, along with all the other Patreon supporters. Thank you guys for helping to support these videos. If you're new to the Car Audio Fabrication channel, my goal has been to really grow car audio by encouraging people to try new methods of custom fabrication. If you enjoyed this video, you would definitely definitely want to check out some of my others, you can check them out over here, and be sure to subscribe up above as it will notify you when I upload a future video. Thank you again for all you guys watching, slamming the like buttons, commenting. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Thanks again.